affordable Christmas present ideas for pilots and aviators. Now, I'm not talking about GoPros, Bose headsets, sunglasses, expensive items like that, but I'm also not talking novelty things like juggling balls, bottle openers shaped like airplanes. If you're on a budget, but you want a decent gift for the pilot or aviation lover in your life, here are my top ideas. If someone you know is really into aviation, they're really going to obviously like airplanes themselves. Now, you can get these die-cast models. Some of them can get quite big. Some of them can also get quite expensive. You can also get plastic versions, which are a little bit smaller, a little bit more affordable. But if you want to get an aircraft model for someone and you don't want to splash out sometimes a couple of $100s on a big metal model, then see if you can pop down to your local hobby store and see if you can find an aircraft kit that they can build themselves. I used to love building airplanes when I was a kid, and you can start off with some really inexpensive ones. In fact, some sets that have got everything you need, the glues, the paints, the paintbrushes, everything that you could possibly need to build your first model aircraft. One word of warning, it can become a little bit of an obsession, but equally it's a good present to build out as a bit of a set. So if they like what you've bought them this year, then maybe you can choose a different model for them next year and a different one from the year after. I've got aircraft models here in my office. I absolutely love them. And so I think a model aircraft is obviously a great option for someone who, well, loves aviation. It's kind of an obvious one. If they like planes, buy them a plane. Secondly, everyone these days has got an iPhone or an Android phone or some kind of, and there are a bunch of aviation specific cases that you can get to kind of make their phones look a little bit better than the standard kind of colors most people have got on their phones, apart from red, which is awesome. There are loads of sites out there that do these, but just Google whatever phone they have an aviation phone covers and you'll find a whole bunch, a lot of them pretty affordable as well. Now, talking of iPhones and iPads, most pilots out there, especially pilots who are currently flying, are going to be using something called an EFB or an electronic flight bag, but they're also going to have apps on their phone for all the aviation stuff they enjoy, like flight radar for tracking other aircraft, weather apps. There are loads. Trust me, most pilots are into technology and most pilots will have a ton of aviation apps on their iPhone or iPad. So one thing you can do for them is buy them a gift card so they can upgrade from the standard versions to premium. iTunes for Apple devices have got gift cards. Google Play for all Android devices have got gift cards as well. You can choose how much you want to put on the gift card and write them a small note just to say for upgrading the apps you've got on your phone, for paying for your ongoing subscription for your electronic flight bag. Most pilots are going to be into their technology and they're going to appreciate a few extra bucks going towards their hobby. If you know a pilot in training, if they're a student pilot and they're studying at the moment, then you can also get aviation themed notepads, some of which are really nice. Give them something a bit more interesting than just the standard kind of Moleskines and other notepad brands that you get out there, and maybe get something which has got terminal chart on the outside, maybe it's got their favorite airport, maybe even their favorite aircraft, or for the keen traveler who just wants a bit of a scrapbook for all the travels, for their memories as they go on. They're going to love something which has got an aviation theme to it as well. Magazine subscriptions are a great idea as well. Find out what magazines they're into and get them either a paper-based like a print subscription or an electronic subscription as well that they can put onto their iPad and read in those downtimes when they're sitting at home, the weather's not very nice outside and they're wishing that they're flying. Next up, if the aviation lover in your life has got a specific aircraft that they're really into, for me, it's the 747. It's always been my favorite. You can actually find bag tags and key fobs that are made out of the actual skin from aircraft which have since been decommissioned. So in my case, for example, you can just Google 747 skin bag tags and give them a really unique gift which reminds them of their favorite airplane. It might remind them of their favorite airplane being scrapped, which is of course sad, but hopefully you can put a positive spin on it. Next up, if you do know someone who's doing flight training and maybe you're a bit short of time and can't get to the shops, find out which flying school they're learning to fly at, give them a call and ask if you can put some money towards their next flying lesson. Now, I don't know any flight school in the world who wouldn't accept some money from someone who's giving them a call asking to give them money. So just make a donation towards their flying in your name, and next time when they turn up, they can be told, hey, Bob's just called up and given us $20 off your next flying lesson. It's a fun little surprise present. You can set exactly the budget that you want to spend on them, and why not even hand draw your own boarding pass, put it in a really simple card and give them that on Christmas Day. Books are obviously a great option as well. Now, there are millions out there, of course, and you can get a little bit lost, but I really like books that are kind of story-based but true stories. This is from my friend Michael Smith. He flew a flying boat around the world, Voyage of the Southern Sun. I don't read very much, I'll be honest, but I've read this on more than one occasion. But there are loads of other books that you can get which tell the true stories of pilots, cover areas of aviation that the person you're buying for might not know about, but there's just a really nice way to stay immersed in that whole aviation world. Now, less of a budget option, but I do want to include this as well, just in case you have got a little bit of money to spend. An experience in something like a 737 simulator is also a really good present that any aviator is going to enjoy. These are those 30, 45, 60-minute sessions where you can sit sit in basically a simulated cockpit and get as close as most people will ever get to actually sitting in the cockpit of a commercial aircraft. Now, they're generally just in the big cities, so if you're in more remote areas, it's probably not a gift that you'll be able to get hold of. And also, they can be a little bit on the expensive side. But like I say, if you're in the city, you've got a bit of money to spend, then any aviation lover is going to love some time in a simulator. Also, I think I'm done with this Santa hat now. Okay, a couple more ideas. Now, I don't do this, but I know a lot of my YouTube friends do. If you know who their favorite YouTubers are, have a look and see if they've got any merch available. A couple of the pilots that I watch who are doing merchandising line, there's Joe Flyer in the UK, Steve O'Canevo in the US, John, the flying reporter, Nonstop Dan, if they're more into their commercial travel. And you've got a whole host of others. Then there's Brian from Just Plain Silly. Trent Palmer's got his own merchandise line as well. Not only are you helping those YouTubers and the aviation community as a whole, then you're also still getting a really nice gift for that aviation lover in your life. And if none of those ideas work, maybe you can't get to the shops in time, maybe you just can't afford to buy something for someone, but you really want to give them something to do with aviation that they're going to really love this Christmas. One final idea, which will cost you nothing. Find your local airport, maybe find the airport that this person flies out of. Google plane spotting locations at that airport and organise to take them there for a few hours. Maybe write them a card or a note saying that you'll organise a picnic lunch, you'll take them down on a nice day and just sit with them in their environment. Ask them to tell you why they love aviation and what's going on in front of you at the airport today. Trust me, if there's an aviation lover who gets the chance to go to the airport with someone that they care about, they get lunch provided and they can talk about aviation for a couple of hours, to be honest, that's probably the best present you can get them this year. Let me know in the comments below your ideas for affordable Christmas presents for aviation lovers. It really helps the community as a whole if we share ideas with each other. Otherwise, I hope you have a very Merry Christmas, all the best for the new year, and thank you as always for watching. I'll see you in the next video.